What's up, everybody? Jeremy back again with Touch of Class Creations. Going to do another video for you today. We're going to work on a fleece throw blanket today, sublimating an image on these. It's about to be holiday time, Christmas of course, and Thanksgiving's right around the corner, so we kind of missed that. But one of our big sellers every year is a holiday Christmas hallmark, like Christmas movie watching blanket. In the past years, we've sold these. The past 2 years have been really big sellers for us. We've always done them with vinyl, so I've really started doing a lot with sublimation this year. The first 2 years we did a lot of vinyl, so I've just really started doing a lot with sublimation. So this will be the first time doing a blanket. I did a test already on this blanket of one of my images for something we're going to do for my niece, just because I've never done a blanket, so I wanted to make sure the time and temps I knew about were correct, and this one came out okay. There's a little bit of squaring there, but I think that's just from the heat press. I think when it's washed it should be okay. I kind of rubbed this side a bit and you cannot see the line as much as you can here, so we'll see on that one. I'm going to check and wash this when I'm done doing these test prints, but we're going to do some more tests today for images I can take and put on the Etsy store, because these will be stuff that I have the rights to sell. A couple of the images I'm going to put for sale as well on the Etsy store, but in any event, let's go ahead and get started. I've already printed all of my images that we're going to use today. I just basically went in and did like a letter sheet and doubled the images. I don't know which ones I printed on what. They're not all exactly even like this. So I just, so I'm not wasting them. Normally I'll do a full size. Unfortunately my sub, I don't have anything bigger than this yet. I just use a Sawgrass 400. I'm going to be upgrading to something bigger soon. But in any event, so for my test, I just did a half a sheet of paper. Normally for the images though, it would be one image on a full sheet. But I'm doing like 5 tests today. I already did that one corner. So just a couple of images here. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so for the blankets now, this is a fleece throw blanket again. This is a 100% polyester. They do have like a little bit of fuzziness. So everything that I've read seems like you should pre-press it a little bit, probably a little longer than I'm doing t-shirts for. So I pre-pressed that first one I did for about 20 seconds. And I'm actually gonna go really light. On this press, it's the Sure Press from Heat Press Nation. I'm going to set my settings, if you have the same press, I'm going to set it around 23. If not, I would set it super light pressure, like almost where your press is kind of almost hovering over the top of the, actually I'm going to press it at 20 even, and maybe on the first one I might put it back to 23. I'm going to see when I lower it. So when you press though, pre-press for 20 seconds, and then we're going to do the normal press for 60 seconds. I'm going to do 385. Once again, pre-press for about 20 seconds, light pressure, like where it's hovering over, and then press regular for 60. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a corner, and I'm probably going to use this other chair over here, so please forgive me if it's kind of in the way, or if I'm in the way. I didn't think about that in advance very well. So we're going to pick a corner here. I'm going to do it backwards, so I'm not having the whole blanket through here. So I'm just going to kind of get my corner laid out as you see on here. Okay, get my blanket over the edge here. And then for the pre-press, we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do 20 seconds. And I'm not going to use any parchment paper for that. I'm just going to put my mat over the top of it. So here we go for 20 seconds. You can see when I put it down here, and my timer's set for 60, so I'm just going to watch it when it's at 40, lift it up. But you can see by my press probably, actually that's probably a little more than hanging. So I mean a little more than just hovering. So I'm going to put it at about 18 actually. You can see I can actually slide this almost right over the top, so that's how light my pressure is. And you can still see I've got a little bit of edge here, so even with light pressure, with it just hovering, it almost is still putting a little, but I think once again, once we wash that, because I almost rubbed it out, it should go away hopefully. So this is the first one I'm going to try. I'm going to do actually 3 on this corner. I think this is my Christmas movie watching blanket. Once again, this is one of our best sellers. So you guys, if you want to make your own design, make a design like this. But these Christmas movie watching blankets, great, wonderful sellers. So we're gonna put the design so it can be right on the corner of the blanket. I'm just gonna kind of line it up like that, bring it a little bit off the edge here. Now on this corner, I think, like I said, I might do 3, I'm not sure. I'm gonna do this one for the main one because I think I like this image the best. My wife likes the red one, which we're gonna do next. Now, to keep my paper from getting this transfer ink on, I'm gonna put some parchment paper over the top of that. That prevents the ink from ghosting. You'll see after, I'll show you the ink comes through. I'm not taping this down because I don't think it's gonna move. I have it pretty solid, so I'm gonna use the parchment paper, and then I'm still gonna use this over the top of it. And now we're gonna go for the full 60 seconds. So here we go. All right, guys, our 60 seconds is up. All right. Now you see on our parchment paper right here, you hopefully can see through the light, but the image, there's still a little bit of ink on there. I really can't see it actually as much with this one. Maybe because my pressure might have been too light. Let's see. We might have to go heavier pressure. Yeah, I think I had a little bit of too light of pressure. Now the problem I'm gonna have with this, and we'll see, this is why I test live. My ink looks okay. I'm not gonna lift this up because I'm gonna try and reline this on here and press it again. But I think I was too light on the pressure because I don't like my colors. I don't think they're as popping as they should be. So let's go ahead and see. This is why we do testers. The sad thing is I don't think I'm gonna be able to line this up exactly, but let's see. I'm gonna use the same paper here, and if I ghost on, then oh well, we'll see what happens. But now you guys, I could do these videos and I could cut this part out that doesn't work right and edit it out and then do it again. But you know, we all make mistakes, we all try things, and you know, we can't be afraid to try things, we can't be afraid to make mistakes, and that's why I'm making these videos, to try and help out with that. I'm gonna go ahead and increase this up to about 25 and see how that does. I'm only gonna hit it for about 20 more seconds just to see if I can bring out some more ink. And still I'm gonna go up, actually, I'm gonna go up to about 30, so let's take that earlier part out, and I will put a little text over the top of it. But once again, I said light hovering now. I can't move my press when I'm trying to move it, it's not moving. So there's our 20 seconds. Let's see if we gave ourselves a little more ink, and hopefully when I just tried to move it, I didn't make it ghost more or make it ghost at all, if my alignment was correct. Still don't see much image on there. Let's see. Well, I only ghosted this slightly, but it's still a little ghosted. So let me show you guys this one, and we'll set up another one. Take number 2. So there's the first press. Not too bad though. It's a little bit light right here. I'd like to see that a little darker. Didn't really ghost up top at all, but my lettering down here is slightly ghosted. Still doesn't actually look bad. It almost looks shadowed, but same happened to the car. So let's try another edge here. Good thing I'm doing this image a couple times. And actually, we'll show you guys something else here in a minute too, but I'm just gonna kind of float this one over here. It's a good thing you buy a blanket like this. I think this was $5 from the Dollar General. Once again, you have a whole entire blanket here. You can really practice your sublimation on. Now I'm gonna try and leave myself some room because I will use this as a photo blanket for some of the prints we do, you know, because when you put stuff online, you have to have the prints of it and test prints, and a lot of times I think the actual prints look like nicer than doing just a mock-up on the computer and it looks digital. You can, you know, tell a big difference between a mock-up and an actual print, so or a physical product, I should say. So anyways, I'm rambling on. So we're gonna hit this for 20 seconds now. Make sure it's complete covering. So I raised my sure pressure to about 33. It's still light pressure, but if you're gonna do a paper test, put the paper on there, and you still might move the paper around a little bit, but you can see the The press itself now can't move, but it's still really light on there. So really light pressure. So there's our 20 seconds for the pre-press. What I had seen on the pre-press was with these fleece throws, the way the fibers are, the pre-press really helps to get the fibers to settle, to make the ink sit in it better. So I'm not a professional. I mean, we have a business, so I'm professional to a degree, but I'm not a scientist. I don't know all the science behind everything. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Once again, I will do a wash test and update the video, or put a second video to update in any event, to see if the square comes out or if it still looks squaring. But let's continue on. Now we're going to try, this is my wife's favorite image. So this is has some, I did a different font with some Christmassy type of stuff. So you'll see once I put it on here. But this one should be nice too. This one will be for sale, as well as that first one on the Etsy store. I did make these images myself, or make them where I have creative rights to them at least. And I just cut 5 pieces of parchment paper beforehand, so I didn't have to make all that noise during the video. All right, so we're gonna do take number 2, 60 seconds at 385, light pressure, but not hovering. Take back what I said at first, not hovering. Just light pressure. Just like you would sublimating on a shirt is what I would say for this one. All right, here we go, guys. You can see the tree like a little bit right in here. You all sublimate, so you probably know, but those that don't reuse your parchment paper. Not too bad. Still would like it to be a little brighter, but I don't want to hit too much more pressure on it. That's still bright. It's nice and bright, but I just still think the lettering, I mean, if you look at my image here, you can see there's a lot of ink. In fact, you know what we'll do? I'm going to do one more test next to that, and I'm going to bump up the pressure a little bit. Let's just see if I can get more ink. I just want to see if I can get more ink out. It looks like I'm leaving a lot of ink on the paper, so this will be a how-to / learning with me as we go. So we're gonna, sorry about this, guys. Unfortunately, I've burnt myself a crap ton of times, so I tend to try and be careful, especially on the video where I might tend to be not as careful normally or paying as much attention. I don't want to burn myself on live TV and look like a real fool. I already look foolish enough, I'm sure, half the time, but so here we go. Let's try a quick pre-press of 20 seconds. I don't know where right there. Here we go, 20, well, my countdown started, so we'll go to 38. All right, so the pre-press is about done. I am going to turn the pressure up yet again. We're gonna go to medium on this. For me would be at a 53, so I'm gonna go to 43, which I would say would be medium light then, because I would say 33 I was just at light. Now I'm at 43, so that's gonna be medium light. When I do my masks, this is about when I do my masks on, and I tend to have more pressure, but I also use a pillow, so maybe having a pillow under here might make a difference as well. So let's see, we're gonna do another take. I increase the pressure a bit, and let's try 60 seconds with this now. Now, mind you, once again, this is what I said earlier. I am using the same print that I just did with the red, like this black one. which now that I did this black one twice, actually, it ghosted itself on this, if you can see here, which is kind of weird. But in any event, it actually looks kind of cool though. But I'm reusing the ink, so that shows you with sublimation sometimes, and I've done this with other stuff. I can use a print a second time to give it a more faded vintage look. So depending on what you're doing, you can save some of your prints. If it's not something for specific designs, if it's something that other customers may ask for or I may want to use in the future, I have a whole folder probably this thick full of old sublimation prints just in case that I've pulled out and reused to test to do other things. So depending on the ink that comes out of them, and I don't know how long you can save them for. Maybe you know, I don't know if I've pulled one out that's been sitting in there for a year. Maybe it won't be good anymore, but I have reused them. Oh, and I didn't put my parchment, see? So now I could have ink on here. Now this one, I definitely had more pressure, so it definitely took out more ink. So you can see though, it looks light still compared to the first one. So here's the first one with the ink. So you can see I did get a good bit of ink, but here was my very first one with the light pressure, which was good. It's still dark, but it's still a little light right here. I increased it by 10 for this one, so it was definitely darker. I really think this one was probably good. And then I increased it 10 more for this one, which you can see got a lot of the ink out still, but it's definitely lighter than this one. So I took a lot of the ink out of the paper. Now you can see this one's completely almost drained, as opposed to one like this that still has a lot of ink. So you see the difference in the pressure and pressing it twice. It really does draw the ink out of these images. So in case you didn't know that, now you do. And if you didn't know it already, sorry to bore you with something that you already knew. So in any event, let's go on to do the third one. This is the initial image I made for this blanket, but after I printed these the other day before I got to do my thing today, I thought the font was a little thin. That's why I changed this one to be a bigger, kind of more Christmassy font. So I'm gonna have all three of them separately available on the store, and then I'll probably put a combo for the three of them together if you like the two of them, or if you like all three of them. You know, you can use them on blankets, masks, whatever. Now I'm not gonna hit this corner because I wanna save that for other images. So I'm gonna take this one, this last one off of this corner up over here. Now, one other thing, guys, that in some instances it may make a difference, in some instances it may not, but with masks, you see this big parchment paper I've pressed several times now. If you see all the wrinkles in there, on t-shirts and masks and some things, you don't want to use parchment paper or stuff that has these wrinkles in there, because they can press through to your image, especially something like this on the top, because that can press those lines into your image and see some of that in the ink or create folds. Or so I'm going to throw this one out and grab another piece. I apologize. I think this is really loud when I do this on the camera, so if it is, my bad. I need to order a roll. I've been out, so I've been buying them from the grocery store, which isn't really cost effective, but if you are in a bind, you know, the grocery store does sell the regular good old parchment paper, so that is what I've been using. So let's go ahead and do another pre-press for 20 more seconds. Now I'm hitting the opposite corner of this Christmas blanket. Do another quick 20-second press. If my saying is wrong about doing this for 20 seconds for the reason, if someone's watching this and you have more information than me, you're more technically inclined or knowledgeable or scientifically inclined or knowledgeable, I'm going to go into the middle of my settings too. So I'm going to go in between medium light and light. I'm going to wind it back down. On mine I had it at 43, so I'm going to bring it down to about 37 right here for my pressure. So I forgot what I was just saying before that. I apologize. Here we go. Oh yeah, if you know more about the settings for this than I did, then go ahead and drop a comment in there and let me know. That way I'm not just completely talking crap. At least I'm letting you guys know I'm kind of just going off the top of my dome. I don't know exactly what the reason was, but that's what I believe I had seen or read about. All right, let's go with this thin font one. Parchment paper to cover that. Still really light, you know. I don't want to slide it because I don't want to ghost it, but it's not very thin on there. If I had the paper test, I could probably slide this out with a little pressure, but I'm going to do a video on the paper test soon, if I don't fast forward this and you guys can actually hear me once again if we don't go chipmunk mode. I'm going to try and do a video if I can remember. I have a lot of stuff going on top of this channel. I'm going to try and do a video though about the paper test, which for those of you that don't have a press like this with the sure press settings, and I've seen videos where people don't adjust their press at all to the settings. So to show you the paper test, how to do the paper test, which is kind of how you can tell where your press is set at for medium pressure, and then it's easier to gauge, at least once you know medium pressure. A couple turns of your handle will put it to heavy pressure, or a couple turns the opposite way will put it to light pressure or light medium, light heavy, etc. So our countdown is now done. We got 60 seconds on this thinner fonted hallmark image. Boom, that one came out good. Still a lot of ink left in these though. You could do a second print, although it would definitely be lighter. But you can see this one came out pretty nice. Right there. I definitely though, looking at this one and comparing it to this one, I definitely like the font better on this one. I think the font's much catchier. Much catchier. All right, so now that was the 3 Christmas movie blankets. So let's just do a recap real quick. So here was the first one. That was the nice font. That was the light pressure, and then I went over it with a little heavier pressure is why we got the ghosting. This was the second one. This was really light, not even light medium. And then this one was light medium, light medium, but a second press, so that's why it's a little bit faded. So that was our 3 presses there. So now let's go ahead and move to our next corner. I think we have 2 more images left. So this next one we're gonna do here, I like the image. Once again, I designed this, so this one will be for sale on the Etsy store too. This is for autism and autism awareness. I have a nephew that is autistic, and I also work myself, my day job, on top of the business that we run, Touch Up Class Creations, and doing all this other stuff, which just started with the videos and how-to videos and all that. But I work with adults and children with physical and mental disabilities. So it's kind of, you know, a subject that I have a lot of faith in. So this says, I see your true colors, and that's why I love you, and it's the autism puzzle pieces and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and pre-press this for 20 seconds and then do the next press. I was trying not to have my image here get pressed some more with this, but I don't think it really is going to hurt it. All right, 20 seconds. Slide this out of the way for a second. So I'm just trying to get my approximate alignment of where I want this to sit. Once again, I'm just kind of doing it as a demo tester, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but since I will use this image, and actually, I think I'm going to change my thing. I'm going to do this gamer pick first. This is another one I'm doing. This is going to be a thing we're selling on our store to put on bags and stuff, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the blanket to see how it looks anyhow. So, in case someone wanted to make a gamer blanket for one of their kids. Both of my kids are big gamers, especially my son. So, they would both. My son already said, "Ooh, I like that, Dad. I might want that on a shirt or something." So, it says, every day is National Video Games Day. All right, we're gonna do 60 seconds at 385 and light medium pressure. Here we go. Hold on a minute, time out. Almost burnt the blanket. Cover it with the other sheet. This was called the silicone sheet when I ordered it. I don't know if it necessarily is. I don't know if you can see this sheet versus this other one, which I think is actually a silicone sheet. This is kind of like a silicone sheet, but this one here, you can see it's a little more shinier. It looks, if you look through the light, I can see the fibers like this one, but this has almost like a little gloss or a coating on it. So I actually like this one better. I wish this doesn't fit my heat press though, so I need to get a bigger one of these. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Every day is National Video Games Day. Whew. I think something over here has oil on it because one of my other mats like that got oil on it the other day. Oh, this gives you a good idea of the ink coming through. You can see pretty much clearly this came right up through there. This ink, you can see here, this is black and this is a dark blue. I guess I might have made this too dark blue because if you look here, I can see a faint difference, but that black and that blue looks very similar. All right, so now we're gonna go to our last corner. This one, I switched to do my autism because I didn't want the other images in the shot when I take a picture online for this blanket, so that's why I switched it the last second. So we're gonna pre-press this 20 seconds, and then that will pretty much do our video. Hopefully this helps those of you that are wanting to do these blankets and maybe have been too afraid to try them or didn't know how to do it, or I've been talking about doing it for a while and just never have. So I thought, you know what, it's about that holiday time of the season. It's been a crazy year. I wanted to do this like 2 weeks ago, but just once again with everything going on, computer crashing, hurricane, I've been sick, so it all just piles up. But we're gonna go our 20 seconds and then we're gonna do our last image here, and that'll be it. So hopefully you guys learned some stuff today. Hopefully you know, this helps a little bit, and you saw a couple different presses and trials that I did, and learned something and enjoyed the video. Once again, like, subscribe, comment if you have anything to tell me. Let me know what you want to see in future videos, but please share the video if you thought it was helpful and you know someone else that might want to see it. As always, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time we release new videos. Subscribe if you want to be able to easy access to the channel to know when we have all videos. And just appreciate all your guys' support. We just recently hit over 1,000 subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. It really happened a lot quicker than I anticipated. I didn't, when I made the first video for the cup, it was just to help out because there was no cup videos when I went to make that cup, and a lot of people asked questions. So, and it just kind of snowballed into this whole thing it is now. So I wasn't anticipating it, but I'm not complaining. I'm very glad it happened. And I just got spaced out talking to you guys because I just pressed that for a full 60 seconds. As you can see, luckily it didn't burn anything, but I would have only done it for 20 seconds. So you got my little spiel in the meantime. So once again, we're gonna hit 60 seconds here. I won't talk your ear off this time. And we'll go with that. All right, guys, our 60 seconds is up. Here comes our final pressed image here. And let's see how this one came out. Ooh, I like that one. Bright and colorful. I see your true colors. That one looks really nice. I think that one came out good. So, I will try maybe in well, I like to let these sit 24 hours before washing. I'm gonna have to post this video. So I will try and update at least in the comments how the wash test is if it took out the squares. You can actually see the square a little bit from my image here, which you guys know if you tear the sides of the paper, which that was pretty cut low, so I wouldn't have been able to tear it. Sometimes you can avoid that. That's why I was doing light pressure at first. I really like how that came out though. The colors are nice and bright. It's very good. If you like this image, once again, this will be on my Etsy store. So here we go. We'll just recap. This is the first image I tested. This one was just at light hovering temperature, and it actually came out pretty dark. So I'm not sure what the difference was between that one and my first Christmas one over here. But so we have this one. We have then my first Christmas press, which was that one. That one. All these done at 385 degrees for 60 seconds. I recommend, once again, light medium pressure to light pressure. And there you have it, you guys. Once again, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, hit the notifications to know every time we have a new video coming out. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching once again. You can check us out on Facebook, Touch of Class Creations. You can check us out on Instagram, Touch of Class Creations, TikTok, Touch of Class Creations. Of course, our Etsy store. There's a link on the YouTube page to our Etsy store. You know, stay tuned for more great videos. Thank you guys for watching once again, and have a great day.